Alright folks, Happy New Year. I am Shipwreck Sean, and this is episode 5 of my Following Seas series. We are here at Waypoint Island, or Waypoint Isle. If you were quick enough to see the thumbnail for the last video, I believe I called it Watchpoint Isle, and uploaded it. And in fact, actually, if you saw that, no you didn't. And if you didn't see that, then I'm talking about nothing right now. But yes, we're here at Waypoint Isle, and I've been doing a lot of sailing off camera for very good reason. Well, we'll head over to the shipyard and I'll do some talking. But reason number one is because I saw that the game has, the developer has released the first update for the game. There's been a lot of hot fixes, but this time there's been an official update. And part of that update has been, let me find it over here, has been that they've what's the word? They've updated the game with a dhow. And those of you that have watched my Sailwind series will know that there's a huge place in my heart for this ship. I'm very excited to see what the Following Seas version of the dhow is like. But that is for another day, I'm afraid. But I'll show you why I was doing a lot of sailing off camera. It's 35,000 tiers to buy without building. I could build it with just shy of 20,000 and a bunch of goods. But I saved up enough to buy the dhow, thinking, well, small ship, must be relatively cheap. If I remember correctly, I think, yeah, the Caravel was 8,500, so pretty cheap, so this must be the next one up. But then I hopped over here and looked at the Xebec, or Xebec, and lo and behold, it's 26,500. And it's a much bigger gal, and I'm told that she's a lot faster as well. So that is what we're going to do today, folks. It's Happy New Boat Day. There's also been another island released. In fact, let's hop over. I've got it set up over here, right? So this is the patch 1.1, so not a full update, but this patch came after the main update here, which was introducing the dhow. So the dhow was part of a sort of main update, and then there's been patches to fix it over the new year. Brendan's clearly been working tirelessly. But you can see on patch 1.1, there's a couple of exciting things. We've got ship naming here, which I am just buzzing about. And then a new island, Tathan's Pit. So there's a whole archipelago I haven't been to. I haven't been to, I believe it's Fishhook Mine in this archipelago. And of course now we have Tathan's Pit for me to explore, so quite a lot to do. We'll just jump back on. So yeah, we're going to buy a new ship, we're going to rename her, and I'm going to see if I can find some missions to head west, because, well, we might as well explore new islands, and if Fishhook Mine is a lot further away than the other islands, we might as well get a fast old boat to do it with. So we're going to buy, pay. See, as you can see, I've got quite a bit of tiers. This took me quite a while, actually. You can cheat the game, but I decided not to cheat it. I've been playing it whilst playing a bit of chess on my phone or listening to podcasts here and there, but I swear on, well, I'm not going to swear on anyone's life actually, but I swear on my integrity as a YouTuber, which probably isn't that convincing, but I promise you, this has all been earned honestly. Let's scroll that right up. It's sad to see that go down, but we're going to have a big old boat to play with. And then I press launch. You had a wee look at the Caravel at the start of the episode. I was going to do a little goodbye tour, but I completely forgot, so we're just going to launch. The Discord tells me that basically once... Oh, look at her. I've turned the graphics down a wee bit as well, so that's why we're getting some of this distortion. But just to make things a wee bit easier on the laptop. But what I was saying is, on the Discord I read that when you buy a new boat and launch, you can go back to the older boat and relaunch. So I think I've already paid for it. That's why launch is no longer blacked out. So I think if I press launch, there we go. So now we own 2 vessels. Hopefully I've not messed it up with any sort of bugging there. And there she blows. So what do I want to do? Do I want to jump on board and get a little tour before finding contracts? Yeah, I think I'll do that, because then I'll jump on, and I'm actually going to turn the graphics up as well, just whilst we do a tour. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. Textures are as high as they can go. Sky, that doesn't really matter. We'll just get everything up for the boat tour. And if it causes, see, there's already a little bit of jittering there. But then I'll head on board, do a little boat tour. I need to find where the cargo manifest is. And then I'll make a save. And then off camera, I'll keep running back and forward until the game loads some missions to Fishhook Mine. And I'll take them. I don't care about profit. Oh. Shadow of Ankai. Ankai? The Scottishness is my excuse for mispronunciation. Actually, let's keep this. It's quite dark. I probably should have done this during the day. Oh, but she's so much bigger. We've got 3 masts. The forward mast, is that ever so slightly raked forward, or is it just the FOV? I think it is. They might all be raked, actually. We've got a main mast here with some shrouds. I don't presume I can climb them, but that would be good fun. And then we've got a mizzen mast here with a flag. I'm presuming that's replacing the telltale, which we no longer have. So we will be relying on the flag. And it looks like we've got the wind markers as well, which I've just spotted there. So actually, I'm just going to, that's annoying me. We're going to take the render scale down. See if that fixes our little jittering issue. Yeah, that's so much smoother. I prefer performance over quality. Okay, so we can work out the sails and stuff later. I'm kind of intrigued by this little poop deck up here. Or would this be the quarter deck and then this be the poop deck up here? We've got a fishing station. The frugality in me wants to turn that off, but we'll leave it on for cool points right now. Right, that's obviously for the mizzen. We've got an actual helm on this vessel. That's going to be good fun. And we've got the binnacle right in front of the helm, which is even better. What else have we got? Looks like we've got a little captain's quarters. Yes, we do. We have a chair. Smashing. I was trying to see if the chair moves like it does on the other boats, but it does not. Oh, I'm liking this. I am going to miss the Caravel, which we're just going to keep named as Little Sins because, well, it never changed the name. I did play it after the update where you could, but I haven't recorded anything. We've got our map. We've got our diary for saving, which I can't seem to... Oh yeah, open menu. There we go. That's fine. Yeah, so this is it. So I did read in the patch notes that for renaming your ship, you have to go here, and then you enter the name, can be changed later. So, oh, it seems to move the camera when you move the mouse. That's fine. But we're going to do that when we're underway, and we're going to do that when the sun is out, because I would like to see the name change on the side of the hull better. Let's get these lanterns off, save some cash dollar. How do we... Oh, you can see the inside disappearing when you shut the door. The hold, I presume, is the same as the Caravel, where you just jump down. If I can get down. It doesn't... Well, I suppose it's longer. It doesn't feel much wider than the hold in the Caravel. Although I think it is, because the Caravel, yeah, so you could get 3 crates in a row. And then you couldn't really fit down the side, could you? So that's pretty groovy. What's in here? Oh, that's just teasing. Okay, we can't get in here for whatever reason. I'm guessing there's just nothing there. But that's a shame. We'll just presume that's the cupboard where we keep my booze. Right, okay, we've got another lantern, which we can turn off for now. Here we have the cargo manifest, easy to find. Struggling to get through this structure. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 27 pallets that we can put our crates on, which I can't remember if we can stack 2 or 3, I suppose we'll find out. But that would make it at least 54 crates we can take, which is pretty groovy. We've got our provisions up forward, much like last time. We're very low on timber. I can't remember if we need the timber or not, but we'll buy some of that just in case. We're low on oakum. Food and drink, we have a plenty. Oh, I need to show you the screenshot I took. I'll get that ready when I do the off-camera stuff. But I caught a fish. I think it was like 250 kilograms or something. It must be a record. But anyway, we'll get that lantern off. Get that lantern off. We can go up this hatch. I suppose we'll do that. And let's try and find where all the sheets are. Right, main. We'll do main first. Oh, it's a little wheel. I think it was a little wheel on the Carvo as well, wasn't it? Oh, 2 bilge pumps. I'm presuming they're connected to the same bilge. It's not like we've got 2 bilges, but I suppose we'll find that out as well. Does it just pump out directly onto the deck where there's open hatches? That seems a bit counterproductive. Okay, so if we've got the main, here we have the tack. Okay, that's nice and easy. Where is the clue sheet? That's for berthing, our mooring line. Is it this? No, that's for the mizzen. I saw one. There we go, there's the clue sheet. Can that go to the centre? Nope, okay. So if that was our mizzen tack sheet, that means this is the mizzen clue. So we just need to do the foresail now. I'm realising that we're not actually moored as well, so hopefully we don't drift away. Right, there's the mast. Oh, and we've got an actual anchor winch as well, not like the one where... Oh. So hold on. Oh, that's very nice. I like that. So this, I presume... Yep. That is our halyard for the foremast. This looks a little bit precarious. Do I have to, like... Can I stand on the rope? Okay, we can walk on the ropes, that's fine. I'm glad I tested that now and not went at sea. But we can walk right up here. Very nice. And then we just need to find the opposite end. Well, I presume it's one of these two. There we go. Right, cool. We are ready for sailing. So I need to head back. And I'm going to make a quick save. And then keep running back and forward to, as I say, get a good contract to Fishhook Mine. Then we will set sail. Also, I will find that screenshot for you as well, because it's some fish. So I'll be back shortly. Alright folks, before I forget, here is the Imperial Linefish that I found. 228.3 kilograms. That is hefty. I mean, you can just kind of see the size of it when it came up, when I was reeling it up. So that's a big old fish. I'm sure, I mean, that mustn't be the biggest I've found, because I think it had like new record whenever you found like a bigger fish. So I'm presuming I've reeled one up at some point and not really been paying attention. But I'm just gonna mentally mark that as the one I remember as being the larger one. But anyway, enough fish chat. Let's go and get a mission. Alright folks, well that took a bit longer than I cared to admit. I think I've reloaded and went back to the main menu about 10 times. I've managed to find a contract to Fishhook Mine, as you can see. It doesn't net us a large amount of profit. But as I said, I don't really care about profit at this point in time. It's all about exploring the new islands, or at least new islands to me. I can't remember if I said this already, but the patch notes said that the new island is west of Fishhook Mine. I don't know how far west, but I'm thinking if we get out to Fishhook Mine, that gets us ready to explore the new island. So we're going to just go ahead and accept that. Only 9 crates, so we're not going to be heavy at all. So we should hopefully get this gal at top speed-ish. I must remember to go for, not contracts. Oh, is that more just appeared? Or was there always 5? I think there was always 5. Yep, okay, cool. So we'll go to provisions. Food stuff, well, I think I'm out of safety. I think we'll just take that up to 300. I will be fishing. Drink, I don't know how long it's going to take to get there. So I'm thinking, drink's not that expensive. I think maybe 500. And then all of our other provisions will take up to 200. Because I think in the whole time I've played this, I don't think I've gone through that much. We've got quite a lot of oil. We must have got that. I must have got that as a reward for a contract. So I can sell off a whole bunch of that and make some of my money back. But I think I'll keep it about 255. And then we can feel like we're rich enough to keep the lanterns on for a good amount of time. So I'm going to complete trade. And I suppose it's time to get going. Off to Fishhook Mine we go. The wind is coming straight into our bow at this point in time, so we will need to winch ourselves out. I did put the mooring lines on, but I think when you reload, they're off. And sometimes I've noticed when you go into the ledger and then come back, they're off as well. But we're not too fussed about that. Let's go and get our cargo plotted in good spots. Let's take the cargo manifest. We've only got 9, so it doesn't really matter. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I think I'll just do that. I think I'll just centralise them like so. And then that way we're not playing around with any sort of nasty business with the ship healing or anything like that. Try and get back to the cargo manifest. There we go. Flick you off. And we need to jump out here. Right, so the ladders are on the starboard side. Let me just double check. I am recording. There's nothing worse. I've done it before where you get halfway through a sail and I've not pressed record. We don't need this lantern on as it's daytime. And I think time to go. I'll check the map when we're underway. I'm also going to turn this down as the wind is fairly loud in my headphones. But I did do a wee audio check before recording the video, so my voice should be clear and above all. So let's take this gal out. I maybe should have pulled us dead straight first actually, just so the back end doesn't hit the harbour. Let's do it like that. I think I'm quite happy with that. Waypoint, thanks for having me, but I'm off-ski. And I think with this ship, it's probably just best to get the mainsail out first. And then I don't know if foresail is better than mizzen sail in terms of which one comes out before the other. But we'll play around. I can't imagine it'll make that much of a difference because the mainsail I presume is quite a bit bigger than the other two. So that will be the boss of all. Let's go and see. It looks like we might already be at a bit of a close haul. Maybe a bit too tight. I'm thinking maybe I'll kedge us out this way and then turn us round, and then I can get the sails out. So let's head round this way. And I need to remember where all my sheets are. But the main sheets, well that's the main. and then the other one was up on our little quarter deck. Or poop deck. Please correct me in the comments. As always, it's very much appreciated and excuse me, and necessary. Apologise for the cough. I've been unwell for what seems like 2 months now. It just keeps coming and going. Don't worry, nothing serious. It's just the Scottish weather. I think I can get a main out. Let's see if she draws forward with a mainsail out. I think that's on the wrong side of the mast. There we go. Right, I know from the caravel we want to tighten up the tack. Will that stop oscillating? There we go, very nice. We want to head up to our clue sheet. That was this one. And we want to pull that a hell of a lot more in than that. I think I'll just pull it into maybe about 2 to start with. And then we'll see how much we need to let out. But we don't want to be too fussy because we will be turning, tacking rather, as soon as we get out of this little bay area. But she's certainly moving forward. I'm just checking to see if the anchor's in. It's so far away. Yep, anchor's in. So I think I'll just patiently let her dot forward for now. Or do we just go ahead and get all the sails out? Right, so we'll head out. What's the true direction of the wind? Because I don't trust that flag right now. I'm not used to it. Right, so the wind's coming from this way. So 355. And we're going 27. So that's roughly, we'll just say around 30, 35. So that means I can definitely go 320 after attack. So we could probably actually tack about now, to be honest with you. I think I'll give her just a little second more though. Just in case me maths is off. I don't like that. Oh wait, you can't draw it in without the sail being out anyway. Okay, we're actually getting pretty close to where those markers are for a sandbank. So let's just begin our tack now with our fancy new helm. Oh, this is nice. Oh, I'm loving her. As I say, I'm told she's quite a bit faster, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we can get. I'll check and see what the wind direction is going to be like for us heading precisely west. I do need to double check the map actually to see if it is precisely west. If I remember correctly, it was. As we can see, the mainsail has taken some wind. Maybe a little bit of luffing. We'll go and pop that on the right side of the mast as well. And let's see, do I even want to pull the tension in on that? No, I think I'm quite happy. So let's go ahead and get the foresail out since I've started running this way. Foresail is on the correct side of the mast. So we'll just slowly drop it. And then I'm going to have to precariously run out the bowsprit. I'm never going to be comfortable with this. I used to do this on a ship I worked on with a harness, which some of you actual seasoned sailors will probably say is cheating. But you know, safety first in the modern age. You're going to stop oscillating. It's still jigging about there, which I don't like. Let's try 60. We're just learning this ship. Okay, 60 odd seems to be okay. But that's flapping around in the wind. And of course it is, because I believe, yeah, it's at about 14. So we'll pull that right in and then ease out slowly and see what we can get away with. I think that's far too tight. Let's try 2.6. A little tiny bit of luffing, but I'm okay with that because we will be turning further west anyway and we'll have to let them out. So now it's for the mizzen. Which in the caravel, the mizzen you can never get as much. You can never ease out as much as the main. I'm sure the smarter folks will know why that is, but I do not. I think it's just something to do with the size and perhaps maybe some of the main stealing the wind. Right, we need to go up forward. Tighten that. I can't remember, did I tighten the main tack? I'm too excited for memory retention. Yes, I did. That was about 70. So they're both around 60, 70. Let's see if I can get away with that here. What was that? 65? Yeah, so the 60 points seem to be the way to go. And then we'll just haul that right in. Okay, that's probably a bit extreme. Let's try 1. Tiny wee bit of luffing. We'll try 2. That's quite a bit more luffing actually. Let's take it back to 1.5-ish. Oh, would you look at that. It makes all the hours worth it. I can't remember how many hours I've played of the game before doing all my off-camera work, but we're up at about something like 40 hours or something, and it feels like about 30 of those have been just trying to pay for this, or rather try to pay for the Dow. But we want to continue the series as we mean to go on, and that's going to be with the Xebec. I will be making a little bonus Dow video very soon, because why wouldn't I? I'd also like to try the Caravel trawler, which could be a little bit of fun, so I'll be trying both of those. I've got a save ready to go back from where this episode started, but we are underway. Just checking our yards are on the correct side, which they are. And now I think I need to go and check the map and find out what direction exactly I need to be heading in, and also see if I can spot the new island. Here we are at waypoint, so I'm going to zoom right out and go west. Right, so there's Fishhook Mine. Is it this? So we'll be leaving from roughly about here. 83 degrees. I should probably go back the way actually. Let's delete that. $262. I was planning on going 270 because that's direct west, so between 260 and 270 we're going to be fine. I'll just leave that there for a bit of fun. But if we keep going west, I'm not seeing the new island at all. Okay, I've gone quite far there. Let's go back so we don't lose our position. But where is it? Fishhook Mine? Southwest maybe? Northwest? Nope, I'll have to do some studying off camera to find out exactly where that is. But I was planning on... Wait, let's check the other ones. So these are the other two islands I've not been to. I'm sure the thing I read said west of Fishhook Mine. It could be that it's west for miles and miles, but we'll find that out. When I'm sailing, I'll make a wee quick edit and check off camera. With you guys, of course. We'll go back to the patch notes and see exactly what it says. But we're going to Fishhook Mine, we have committed now. So let's turn ourselves to about 262, between 262 and 270 will be fine. So that's going to be roughly in this direction. It's both a blessing and a curse that your cursor stays, it remains where you're pointing when you turn. I don't feel that's how the human body naturally works, but I suppose the head does that. It is good for, as I say, when I'm playing chess off camera and I look up and all of a sudden I am looking the complete opposite direction from where the boat's going. Right, we are now... Is that a close reach? Yep, so we can certainly let out the sails. So let's go up forward and see what we can get away with. Let's try 5. Let's go a bit extreme. Yeah, 5's going to be absolutely fine. Maybe a tiny wee bit of luffage, but we're okay. Let's go and try our main, which is here. Will we try 5 on the main as well? Yeah, 5's fine. I think I can actually let them both out a wee touch more. But we'll do everything consecutively. There's a weird sound. I don't think I'm going to get away with 5 with the mizzen. No, as you can see, it's very loose. So we'll pull that into, let's try 3.5. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that for now. Can we drop you? Let's try 6 on the main. Yeah, she's holding that very well. Let's go and try 6 on the forward. How's that looking? Oh. Jeezy peeps, ignore that. That's just early access game, you know. That mizzen seems to be fluttering around, but I don't know if that's because of the little sail collision that just happened. And it could be that that just happened in this view, because I tend to get a few bugs in this view. By the way, we're off game. We're definitely going fast. I mean, there's times I've sailed out of here and, well, you can still see the birds and you can still see the trees, but we're fleeing. Can I see? Yes, I can see the Watcher. I can see the, what is it, unnamed island. Oh, actually, I think I also read in the patch notes that they've updated the foliage view distance, because I've actually turned them down a bit just to try and stop the jittering, but that must be part of the update. Right, let's check our heading. But 263, yeah, I'm very happy with that. I think I can just leave her to do her thing. Yeah, chuffed. Cheerio, waypoint. Not watch point. Don't know what I'm talking about, folks. You guys never heard anything. I'll need to wait for her to fill with water to see what the bilge pump situation is, but I'd imagine both are working the same pump. Or at least the same bilge sump. How's she looking? Oh my god, she's gorgeous. I'm a big fan. I never checked to see if you can change the colours, but actually, the white, black and red is pretty stunning. No dolphin striker up front. A dolphin striker is, it's like a little spar that points down the way, and then that connects some ropes. Called a dolphin striker because it's usually got a stabby bit on the end. Not for striking dolphins, I think it's just a funny name. There's another official term for it, but I can't mind that. But I used to climb all over those as well. That was a weird noise. So, yeah, I can't remember if I've said this on camera as well. Past time, it's not like Sailwind or anything where you speed up time and sail a lot quicker. It just changes the actual time, both sailing at the same rate. So right now it's coming up for 12, which I presume is 12 lunchtime, looking at the weather. And if I went to sleep, that time would just go very quickly. And I haven't tried it yet, but I suppose it would be useful for YouTube recording, if I wanted to record during the day and such. Oh, and I'm now remembering, we need to pick a name. So Shadow of Ankai is pretty good. I was wanting to call the ship Bonnie after my cat, but I do feel like, because in Sailwind the name of the dhow was Bonnie, I feel like it would be good continuity to name the dhow in my dhow episode Bonnie. So, I know. I'm going to pick a temporary name for now, right? And please, this is my way of generating comments. I'm breaking the fourth wall every time I do something like this, but I'm not a very natural YouTuber. I'm not great at saying the whole please like and subscribe and leave a comment and hype point me, whatever that is these days. But do leave a comment, and I suppose the best one can name the ship. But for now, I'm thinking nuovo anno. For New Year in Italian, because in 2 weeks I am flying off to Rome to see the rugby, Scotland versus Italy, at the Stadio Olimpico. But I'm going for 10 days, so I'll also see the Colosseum, the Pantheon. We're looking at some of the museums in the Vatican as well. And of course, I'm going to get extremely fat on pasta and pizza and beer. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So Nuovo Anno is the name for now, which I think is a very good, very fitting name. But that is not a permanent name. That is a temporary name for now, until one of y'all can think of something a bit better. So since it's daytime, I'm actually going to just leave the game running and leave the ship to do her thing. And I'm going to hop over to the patch notes to see if I can find out exactly where this new island is. So we'll head over now. Alright folks, so I worked out the problem, and it was my reading comprehension skills. Tathan's Pit. This is a large open pit mine west of the far shore, so it wasn't Fishhook Mine. While long abandoned, parts of the mine have recently been reopened where copper and clay are traded. Island is not fully complete, with some points of interest still in the work. So yeah, okay, so I don't really want to look at the pictures because I want to discover it more for myself. But it does. There has been a hotfix as of today, actually. I did wonder why I got an update before recording, where they've added substantial content to Tathan's Pit. So after Fishhook Mine, we'll be heading up to the new archipelago to see if we can find that. But whilst I remember, I'm going to check the map again, just so I can spot it. So west of the far shore. Let's see here. Right, so up. Far shore here. So let's go west. And here we have Tathan's Pit. So it looks to be about... So we're roughly 52 degrees for the far shore. Oh wait, that's the wrong... Right, we want to look at longitude. So we're negative 131. And here we are negative 141. So 10 degrees. I'm just wanting to see if it's going to be roughly the same sail as what I'm doing here. Negative 121. Negative 129. So the sail today is going to be a little bit shorter. But then we have to basically head dead north up to find these two islands. So hopefully we can get a little mission from here, a little contract up to the far shore. I don't know if it works that way, because I've never seen any contracts at the far shore. But yeah, that's the future of this this series, heading west to Fishhook Mine and then dead north. And I believe there are other islands around that I haven't spotted yet, because I read some on the Discord, but I can't exactly remember where they are. But that's for way, way in the future. At least we have a plan to stick to for now. The sun is going down. So that looks to be 1 in the morning. And the sun is going down. So the sun's up. It's taken a wee while. It must be a pretty hefty summer here. Oh! Oh, that's cool. I do like that. We've got a little bit of grating to stand on to wistfully watch the sea beneath our feet. How's our heading? 265. I'm sure it was 262 or 263 we need to be heading in, so that's absolutely dandy. As long as it's between 270 and 262, we'll see it eventually. I must remember that whilst the Watcher is in view, we'll do some triangulation. Or we'll dead reckon along the line that we've already made. But we've got waypoint behind us and the watcher ahead of us. Night is about to fall upon us though, which will make things a bit harder. I think if I ever do the thing, folks, where I pass the time, it'll be one, to just get a bit of visibility, although it does feel like cheating. And two, to make it feel less like cheating, I will actually just anchor off, so it feels like I'm actually sleeping. Although to be fair, people don't, you know, I'm sure single sailors, etc., will probably leave their boat sailing whilst they sleep, particularly in good weather. But we'll see. I'm setting out rules for myself already that chances are I'm not going to follow. I want to see if I can get away with... Let's try 7. Yes, 7's still grand. Let's try 8. Wow. How's that looking? I mean, there's no need to be looking at it from this view. I mean, maybe the tiniest bit of luffing. We'll bring it back to 7.5. And let's go and do the foremast again. I'm just test sailing at this point, folks, just to see what I can get away with. A bit of movement, but sometimes you get that at the second you change it and then it rights itself. I think there's a teeny bit, so I'll bring that back to... I can't remember what it was at. 6.5 maybe. And we are sailing. There is no button that would suggest... Oh, I've just noticed the telltales here as well, which is pretty cool. There is no button that says climb ratlins, so I'm not going to stand on the bulwarks and find that out, because I don't want to end up in the drink. I think it's good practice to close our door there, because you never know. Cabin door must be closed lest you want a soggy bed. Still going 263. Well, I don't know if we've turned at all. Maybe like the teeniest of tiniest turns to port. So I'll just correct for that. The tiniest of bits. I don't really think this was necessary. She's handling the wind well. Can I see the nameless island at all? Yep, we can still see the nameless island. So point that directly and then press 5. 342 for the watcher. In fact, I'm going to save that. And then we'll just take what we think is roughly the centre of nameless. 334. They're a bit tight actually for triangulation. Can we take... Oh, we're kind of losing sight. So the most northern part I can see of waypoint, which is also kind of northeast, the northeastern edge, 89. Right, I can remember 89. It's a nice easy number. Let's try a bit of triangulation so we get into practice. That azimuth has saved, fantastic. So I'm going to first get rid of this because we can bring that back whenever. So we want 89 from, I think this is what I was looking at. Oh no, it's the action button. There we go. I mean, there's a good bit of difference between 89 and... I can't remember exactly. I think it was 89. I can't remember. We'll just go like that. And then from the watcher, we are wanting 342.23. And we can get this pretty exact. Well, it's actually pretty hard to get it completely exact. Oh, we had it there. That'll do. Happy with that. So this is where we're at. So still got quite a bit of sailing to go. So I suspect I like to keep my episodes roughly about an hour. And looking over at my timer, it would appear I forgot to unpause when I was last off camera, so I don't know how long this has been, but we'll keep sailing a bit more. I'll try and get as close as I can to halfway. I do like to, usually in an episode, have the start and end of a sail. But this one is a bit of a longie. Speaking of a longie, it has been about a month since I last recorded a Following Seas video, so I thank you for your patience. Those of you who watched my most recent Sailwind video would have had the exact same speech. But you know, Christmas time and all the rest of it, we take some time off for Christmas and Hogmanay. Also, as I say, as hopefully you can't hear in my voice, as I say, I've been pretty beaten up with flus and sore throats, which seem to be coming consistently. I downed an entire pint of tea, quite literally a pint, and that's a British pint, of tea before recording this episode to hopefully warm up the throat a wee bit, just to make me sound a bit less hoarse. But yeah, I very much recommend going and watching the Sailwind video as well if you are a viewer who's here just for Following Seas, because it was one of my favourite ones yet. It is about 2 hours long, which of course is pretty hefty, but you know, you can watch a bit, go off, come back, watch a bit more, or skim through it, doesn't matter. But it was my second, well technically my third ocean crossing, which in Sailwind is a well, not for the seasoned sailors, it's a pretty big deal for me, but I've went direct east to one archipelago before, and then direct west back the way, which is a bit of an easier way of doing it. This one was sort of north of northeast along the way, and in Sailwind I know roughly how to do the sort of celestial navigation, etc. You know, and using the sun for noon readings with the sun compass. And the quadrant is pretty important, you know, for finding the North Star and checking. There's 3 other stars you can check as well for getting roughly your longitude and latitude. But I managed to drop the quadrant within like the first 10-15 minutes of the episode, so that made for quite intense sailing. But it was another episode I thought was going to be broken up into 2 or 3 episodes like my other ocean crossings, and so I'm just distracted by the beauty. Spoiler alert, I did actually get to land within recording that episode, and the second I spotted land I was just over the moon. Went right up the crow's nest, etc. So I probably just spoiled the whole video, so you don't need to watch it, but I certainly recommend doing that. That's my little Shipwreck Sean YouTubey sales pitch. Like and subscribe and tell your gran. But here we're playing Following Seas. I'll have another Sail the Seas Out video relatively soon as well, because we're kicking off with that. I'm hoping to buy the schooner soon. So yeah, it's all happening. Getting very excited about the YouTube thing. Also, the last thing I'll say about the YouTube thing, right, but it's kind of a big deal. January the 3rd marked 1 year since I've been a creator on YouTube. Which is very exciting. It was something I started just to work on my public speaking, which, as I'm sure a lot of you can tell, hasn't improved much, but certainly my confidence has. But it started off as a tiny little daft hobby, and it's very much become the thing I look forward to doing after work, the thing I look forward to doing if I've got a quiet weekend. Sometimes I make sure I have a quiet weekend so that I can do it. And you know, playing the game off camera so I can get up to a point where I've got new things for you to watch and join along the ride for me. So thank you very kindly for being along with me for a year. And for those new, thank you very kindly as well for hopping on board. And I just said that was the last thing I was going to say. There's one more thing. We should not care about numbers. As creators, we shouldn't care about like watching the views and watching the subscriber count go up. We should very much just do what we love. But I hit a pretty cool milestone. Please don't go and unsubscribe when you hear this, but over the weekend there I crossed 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty amazing. This is such a niche little subject I've picked on YouTube, and I didn't expect it to get anywhere near that. So yeah, I'm buzzing, and I say we shouldn't count numbers and shouldn't care, but we should also take the opportunity to be proud of ourselves whenever we get the chance to. So that's another reason just to say thank you to you all for sticking with me for a year, and you know, for all your comments, likes, and so. But I'll shut the hell up now. Let's do some sailing. What is our direction? We have drifted to starboard a touch, probably because of my little unnecessary correction. So let's correct for the correction. It could also be the sail configuration. I did let out some sails, which might have made a difference. But let's bring us down. I think I'll just get us as close to 263 as I can. Just with a very slow turn. The harsher the turn, the more you kill your speed. And she seems to be absolutely fleeing. I wonder if one day it's worth doing this. Sorry, my voice is going. It's worth doing this with the Caravel as well, just to get an idea of the difference in speed. And I'll maybe do that off camera. I'll maybe sail, I'll maybe do like a shorter sail, maybe between like the Watcher and the Bells or something, with each ship, just to get an idea. But obviously I'll have to get lucky with the wind conditions, which, speaking of, I'm just going to check that they're still favourable for our sail configuration, which they seem to be. Yep, still close hull sailing. Clear night. Speaking of celestial navigation, I really must learn how to do it on this game, especially if some of the archipelagos are a lot further away. Is that the Big Dipper, or the one that looks like the Big Dipper but is smaller? So yeah, I need to learn my constellations. Surely we'll be able to find the North Star, right? I think it might have been part of that constellation, I'm not sure. Right, so we're facing dead-ish north. We're off by 1 degree. So, are one of these the North Star? Well, that's big and bright, so I feel like that must be the North Star, right? So then you can save elevation, which will be saved onto my map. But from that point, folks, I don't really know what I'm doing with that. If the elevation is 41 degrees, I don't know what that means for our latitude. Or longitude, rather. So, yeah. That's another thing. If I've not begged you enough to leave a comment already, that's another thing you could perhaps leave in the comments, although I will strive to go and look that up myself. On a different series, right, we're losing a bit of the mizzen there, I'm going to pull that in. On a different series, someone did ask me why I don't bother Dead Reckoning, like properly. I've been calling it Dead Reckoning on Sailwind, which is pretty much just kind of guessing where I am by drawing a line between where I left and where I'm going, and then kind of guessing by taking into account how far I've drifted, which is not Dead Reckoning. I think Dead Reckoning is also taking into account the speed you're going, and then using that to work out how many miles you would go over like 24 hours. And that's because I don't know how to do it. So that's the answer. So if the person who left that comment also watches my following seas video, that is why. I still need to reply to that comment. I make a point of replying to every single one of them, but I very much wanted to focus on getting something recorded first today. Seas are getting pretty choppy out there. Wonder if we can get away with doing a little bit of fishing. That mizzen's still battering around, isn't it? I think I'll pull that in just a wee bit more. I don't want to pull it in too much more, just in case it starts to turn us. 265, so we're fine. Let's do some fishing. Oh, okay. So we've jumped into the back, the stern. I think I've kind of mastered this by this point, but we'll find out the hard way. The problem is that I've just said I've mastered this, which means it's going to go wrong. So you don't reel unless it's fighting back. I don't know if this is how it works in real life. You could do little feathering of reels if it's not fighting back, like so, but if it fights back, you can hold down a wee touch. A wee touch more than you usually can. And if I do anything else, I tend to lose the fish. And it gets pretty frustrating, especially if I'm trying to make a chess move and then I'm losing fish in the process. I end up sat here on my couch getting frustrated at fish in chess. If anyone plays chess, do message me or leave a comment. I would love to get you added. I don't know if I can say, but I'm on the main chess website. I'm also on the other one. But yeah, I would love to add people and play them. I'm not very good. So if you play and you're better than me, that's even better, because hopefully you can teach me. On Tuesday, well actually that's another off-camera story. I joined a sort of chess club, but it's more of a chess night in a pub. But then Tuesday this week, there's an AGM. I think, is that like an advanced grandmaster? It's a grandmaster of sorts who's coming to Edinburgh, to the Edinburgh Chess Club, and he's going to play one of those simultaneous games. You know, so I think he's playing 12 people all at once. And I did try and get myself a seat to play, even though I would get absolutely hammered. But I just thought it would be a good learning experience. But even if I can't play, I'm certainly going to spectate. So I'm looking forward to that. Which is why I'm getting an episode recorded today. Because usually I like to do it on a Tuesday. Also, I think, for the time being, at least until after I come back... Watch this happened. The wake disappeared. At least until after I come back from Rome, I think I'll just do one episode per week, whether that be following seas... Oh, see, I've just lost the... Okay, I've not mastered it. Whether that be following seas, sail the seas, or sailwind. Just because I noticed that if I upload too quickly, YouTube stops promoting the other video, and I'd like to give it a chance. And also, I'm going to be preparing for my holiday and such, and I'd like to have videos essentially uploaded and scheduled to be released whilst I'm in Rome, because I'm certainly not going to have my laptop and microphone and such. Oh, that's a big smiling whitefish whilst I'm in Rome. But yeah, if anyone's got any recommendations for Rome, do let me know. Very excited for that. I speak a little bit of Italian, but certainly not masterfully. So I'm looking forward to practicing that as well. I knew enough to say nuovo anno, and there's a chance I've probably made a mistake there. But I feel like that's right. So we're sailing on Xebec nuovo anno at the moment in time. But you guys are going to name her. And if no one leaves a comment with the name, well, she's nuovo anno. And I might see if I can come up with something just a wee touch more exciting, maybe more fitting for the series. It's getting a little bit misty out there. Right, I think this will be the last fish I catch for now. I think we've boosted up our provisions. Your daily, well, not ration, what you go through every day in this game is 30 kilograms of food, which seems a bit excessive. I'd love to get a look at my character, but if they're going through 30 kilograms of food each day, they must be burly. But you go through 30 kilograms of food every day, and so I like to, at the very least, catch 30 kilograms worth of fish. Seems to make sense, right? Oh, we're standing pretty precariously off the back, off the stern, off the transom. Right. 269 would suggest a little turn to starboard again. So with the wind going from starboard to port, does that mean it's a bit too extreme in the mizzen, so we need to let the mizzen out a wee bit? And then maybe pull the fore in a wee bit as well. See if that doesn't help any turns. What time is it? Okay, 7 in the morning. So I don't know how long it will take before we get daylight. But considering it looked like evening at 1 in the morning, I'm not too sure. I don't really like what that mizzen's doing there. I think what I'll do is I'll keep the mizzen in tight. And then if we're still turning to starboard... Yeah, if we're still turning to starboard, I'll keep pulling in the foresail. I think that's the smarter way to go. Is that land? Land ho! Right, let's go and get me spyglass. Because I believe I've just spotted land on the outward view. Which would tell me Fishhook Mine is quite a large island. Sometimes in the spyglass view, you don't see as much as you can see just when you're walking about decks. I don't know if it's something to do with how the game's designed, or maybe spyglasses are not meant to be that good. It feels like that's something... No, that's stars. But we definitely saw land like this. So we know we're doing well here. And I feel like... See if you look at the left-hand side of your screen. I feel like I can see just a slither of land there as well. That's pretty crazy. So on a clear night, you can see pretty far. I think I'm going to do some more triangulation as well whilst I'm at it. Where is the watcher? There it is. So we're going to save. And then we're going to go and... We'll try the south side of waypoint. There we go. That's south side. 105.21. 105.21. Right, let's clear everything. And we want to go to the south portion of Waypoint Island. It must be about here I'm looking at. We're not going to get it perfect, but hey ho. So what, 105.21. That's about as close as I'm going to get it. And then we have saved the watcher. So we're going to click you and look at the top left, and it's 6.39. 6 point... Well, that's close enough. So, unless I've made an error, we've really not made as much distance as I thought we have. We can see Fishhook Mine, which seems fairly big from what I can see, although it looks to be about a quarter of the size of Waypoint Island. I thought we'd be a lot closer, considering we can see it. But then again, we can see one of these two as well. So yeah, I've just realised, whilst I was on Waypoint Island, I ran around some more of the buildings, I ran around up here, I ran down here, there's like a little farm here and stuff. I couldn't find a journal, so that's yet another comment I wouldn't mind from people. Oh, I forget now, I'm terribly sorry, but someone sent me a message on Discord to let me know where the journal is on the bells. So I do need to make a point of heading there again, just to find the journal. And of course, we will hopefully find a journal at Fishhook Mine as well. But I'm very much a sucker, an addict for the lore in this game. From what I can see from some more of the updates, I think the developer is going a bit more lore heavy with sooner updates to come. So that's of course very exciting. What's this little cluster? Is this like a galaxy? Or a solar system rather? Yes, we must learn celestial navigation. Yeah, that's definitely land. It's a shame I can't get up the crow's nest or anything. How's the wind looking? I still feel like we've got a wee bit of luffing, but it doesn't look like the wind's changed at all. So again, I think it's just the sailcloth collisions in the game. Sometimes they can be a bit janky, sometimes they flutter around. That 4 can definitely come in just a wee touch. The main I'm still quite happy with. Actually, I think I might bring it in. And the mizzen, I'm happy with that to luff around just a wee touch. I suppose it doesn't really matter what direction we're going in, or at least being too careful with it. Because as I can see, it's a shame I can't get the cursor, but if you look on the left hand side of your screen now, that's the land I was talking about if you didn't see it already. So as long as we can see land, we're fine. Although quite often in the game, especially when I've been playing off camera, the game likes to do this thing where when you get close to land, all of a sudden the world's worst mist you've ever seen appears, and you're kind of just fumbling in the mist, hoping that you're close. Another thing I suggested on the Discord was getting a chip log. I think I might have mentioned that in previous episodes, I'm not sure, but I think that would be very cool. Even if it was something unique, like maybe something you can drop off the bow and then measure the amount of time it takes to pass the ship. And then it'd be cool because then you would learn the length of your ship and get the knots that way. Just so we can learn with confidence what the correct sail configurations are, because a lot of this is kind of just guesswork. I'm still pretty atrocious with lateen sails heading downwind. I've kind of managed it, but certainly not to a perfection. I'm a lot more happy with close haul, close reach and beam reach. And I'm okay with broad reach. It's really just sailing completely downwind I have a little bit of trouble with, which is the same with Sail the Seas actually, but that's for different reasons. That's for balancing reasons. Sailwind I seem to be absolutely fine with, but that's because I've upgraded my, it's called a sandbuck in the game. I've upgraded that with square sails, so I just pull in the main gaffs that I've got, let out the square sails, let out the sheets, and as long as as long as the wind's not coming into the side too much on maybe like a broad reach, so that you're not heeling, you're fine just to let the sheets out, and she will generally stay pretty straight and balanced. So that's groovy. What time are we on? We are now 9 in the morning. I'd like a little bit of daylight coverage, just to see if I can see land with the spyglass that way. And this har on the water is making it a wee bit difficult, because it'd be cool to be able to stand here from the quarterdeck and see if we can spot land. But it's new ship day. She is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm not going to tire of saying that. Oh, lovely jubbly. And we've always got the caravel to go back to. I think I'd like to, I don't know if you upgrade it to a trawler, or if you have to just basically buy a new one that is a trawler. But that'd be quite cool. I've seen images on the Discord with holds full of fish, and I just like the role-playing idea of that. Especially when I'm not recording. I'd like to just sit and chill after a hard day's work. Just do a bit of trawling, make my money that way. That looks like the main needs to come in a touch. Is the wind direction changing? Oh, the wind is... Have we blown off course? So it looks like the wind has changed. It could be because we've blown off course, so that's going to make things a bit more exciting. So, to close haul, we're going to have to start to sail south of the island we're heading to. And we'll keep an eye on the wind as well, because it does, in this game, seem to change sort of over time. It's a good thing we can see land, hopefully in the light, because that's the kind of thing that makes me nervous. The mizzen's still catching. Main's okay. I feel like I'm close hauling. We're just going to tighten everything just a wee touch, just to make myself feel better. It could be that I'm over tightening now. And we're going to pull you in a touch. And that looks alright to me. Let's head back and check our bearing, our heading. 254, so that's not too bad. I think I can settle with that. We have lost sight of, well, everything due to the heart and darkness. Let's get our lights on. I did say we were going to be rich, right? And keep the lanterns on, but there's only one on deck. I would like to see ship customization in this game at some point. I can't remember if I read if that's going to be a thing. I kind of alluded to wanting it when I mentioned updating the paint job. Even though it's a decent paint job we've got. I mean, having lanterns in here is pretty cool. But I don't think I'll be spending too much time in here. Unless, of course, I'm playing on my own and role-playing. The survival element already introduces eating and drinking. I wonder if sleeping is something that will be planned for the game. Which would give you all the more reason to head into the cabin. I know the developer's careful not to. So it does pour the water onto the deck. So then where does it go from there? Oh, we've got quite a lot. Oh shaboy. Well, I suppose it's a much larger bilge. And I've not checked this in quite a while. Oh my god. Right, well, I'll be here doing this for a hot minute, folks. Nothing on the port side, it would seem. And nothing on the starboard side, so we probably just did the last one there. But since there was that much water, I am going to head down and check and see if we have any punctures in the hull. Yes, we do. Okay. I can't actually get around the crates. So we have at least one. Is it 6? Yes. Let's get that patched up. It's a good thing we checked. Because that could have been a bit testy. I believe this episode is going to be way over an hour now, but it's a new ship. We're having fun. And as I say, having all the lanterns on down below decks would be very cool. But there's no point in having them on all the time. Unless you're going to be spending a lot of time in here, which I can't see why. I suppose it's good for coming in when you're doing the cargo manifest business. But yes, we must make a point of going down regularly and checking our hull. And I'll go and give it another wee pump just in case we've brought some more water in. Nope, we're good. So that's that little hull issue fixed. Alright, we're getting there. So according to this, we're 10:30. So surely we must be getting some daylight soon. 10:30, it's still this dark. I feel like maybe the in-game clock is going a wee bit off on my save. Because when I was doing the whole trying to find a contract business, I did notice that when I went to main menu and then came back in, it was all of a sudden daytime. And obviously no time had passed, so I don't know if maybe there's something weird going on there. Oh, but she looks even better in the dark. I mean, the black sails are just gorgeous. Makes her seem very ominous. And I wonder what the flag is. Is this for one of the factions? Is it the Kalian people or the Imperials? It's a face of sorts. So I guess we'll find someone with a face like that. I mean, the lantern's not really doing much there, is it? I suppose it's just good looking. Still not seeing the Watcher. And because of the coverage, we're getting no view of land anymore. So it's very much us with nature. Yeah, get that main in a wee touch. That mizzen looks like it needs to come in quite a bit more. And how is our heading now? 255, that's okay. So for a little bit of what I would call dead reckoning, but obviously isn't dead reckoning, as I've been over already. If we're here, can I go 255 from... Oh wait, that's not going to work that way, is it? Okay, I'm not smart enough to work this out for heading 255. Because I would need to find 255 down here and head back. Or suppose I could just work out exactly what angle 255 is. Oh, but I can't... I don't think I can delete that one that I've made. I'd have to delete them all. Oh well, starting again. And up we head. Right, I think I might try that past the time business. And you know how I said I was going to not cheat and actually anchor off whilst I'm doing that? I've decided against that. There we go. I changed my mind a lot. But you press past the time and you can see the clock is moving up to 12. We've consumed 20 food, 32 drink. Oh, you actually consume quite a lot when you're doing that, so maybe that's not the best plan. Because you seem to use quite a lot per hour. Which I don't think seemed right. Because it's supposed to be like 20 per day. And we have the wind in our face again. Have we blown off course? Nope, we're still going in that direction, so we need to... I think this time I'll correct to starboard. Since we've already drifted port a wee touch. Or oversteered. Don't know what the word would be. But we've headed slightly south, or to our port of the destination direction. So now if we go starboard, we're kind of correcting for that. We're doing a sort of soft tack. Right, that looks like the sails have caught the wind. And we'll check our heading. 315. Okay, so that's quite extreme. I feel like, if you look at the left-hand side of your screen, I feel like that's the shadow for the watcher in the water. But then I don't think I can see it through the spyglass to make any sort of... to do any sort of triangulation. I think the wind might be slowly changing as well, because now it is... we are in irons again. So we'll head back to port. Which is good, because I was feeling too lazy to go out and put the yards on the opposite sides. So, little turn to port until the sails look healthy. Which I think that's close enough. Especially if we're planning on close hauling. It might even be worth just going a bit more extreme and beam reach tacking. But we're heading 273, so I'm going to try and get a wee bit more out of that. $270, we can turn again. We're certainly not going to be... it's not going to be at 263 from us anymore. I probably wanted to keep that around 270 for that reason actually, but we've committed now. But since we had to turn to port earlier... foresail looks good, but I'm just going to bring it in a touch. Just because we seem to be getting a lot of close haul sailing now. The mizzen is fairly close to useless. Right, I think I need to look at the wind marker instead. Yep, we definitely need to go to port quite a bit more. Although it's amazing that she's still catching the wind like this. These Xebecs with lateen sails mean business. Right, how's that? I mean, it's a bit healthier. I'm happier with it. We will be going very, very slowly, and we're heading with an azimuth of 250. So heading roughly 250 from where we are. I'm just desperate to find out where that is. I killed time. Now it's saying it's 2 PM, but I don't believe that. As I say, I think my game clock has went a bit janky. So I'm going to kill some time with a bit more fishing. Hoping that the sun comes up soon, and I'd like to check my provisions as well to see if I did indeed go through that much food and drink. But I'm going to need to catch at least, what was it, 60 kilograms worth of fish. But I won't do that right now. I won't force you through that. Although, as I say, I quite enjoy the fishing in this game. It's very relaxing. Except from if you're trying to play chess at the same time. I nearly broke my brain the other day. I'm playing this, I'm watching rugby, and I'm playing chess. My team were losing at the time. They did win. I'm losing at chess, and I kept losing fish. Shipwreck John was shipwreck stressed. Right, grab one more fish. And then it's becoming a bit of a feature in my videos, but that pint of tea that I downed has come back with a vengeance against my bladder, so I'm going to need to go and deal with that. So we'll get this fish up, and then I think I'll call the episode. No. I'm not going to call the episode until we see land, actually. I know it's a longie, but if I'm only doing one episode per week, well, they might as well be long. Second fish up. Pop you in. And I'm just going to leave the boat running. And I'll make a quick edit when I am back from the heads. So I will see you in a jiffy. Alright folks, I have returned from the heads. Pint of tea has been discarded from me. It looks like the sun is peeking itself just over there, so we'll get some daylight coverage very soon and hopefully see some islands. I feel like if you look at the right hand side of your screen, I feel like that must be just under the waterline. That must be the shadow for the watcher. So we will have something to take one bearing off, even if we can't see fish hook mine. But then with just one thing to make a bearing, it's not going to make it massively easy for dead reckoning. I think the closest I'll have is basically drawing a straight line between where I left and where I'm going to, and then drawing the line down from the azimuth of watcher, and then just kind of guessing. At least that'll give us a decent idea of the distance we've made if it doesn't get us the exact location. I would like to go and check provisions though, so let's fire down. Provisions is actually on in the bow, much like the Carvel. I actually forgotten how much I've purchased, so I don't actually know for sure how much I went through there. So I'll have to do another wee test with that. Did I maybe buy 500 drink? I think I might have. I'll go back and watch the episode when I'm editing. But yeah, so when you're resting and trying to change the weather and speed up time like that, that is the downside. Apparently you're a very hungry and thirsty sleeper. I can't get out. Here we go. Close the hatch. And we're basically just, now that the sun's up, it's obviously a cold night. I think I can see just over there the shadow of Waypoint underneath as well. But it was obviously a cold night. We want the sun to come up and cook away this har that we're seeing, and hope that we can come up forward and spot fish hook mine. I think there was a lot of hope in that statement, but that's sailing. I'm pretty much as far forward as I'm comfortable going. And I'm not seeing anything. Oh, that's a pretty cool view though, and I can see the Watcher now. But that is cool as anything. Just enjoy that for a second, folks. Wonder if our character's got a GoPro. Right, back we go. Let's try and get some sort of triangulation. Are we seeing any land forward? Yeah, I'm just seeing. So if I draw back here, you can see it on the left hand side of your screen. So we are still heading relatively south of that island, but that's okay, because that's kind of the drawback of close hull sailing. You can't head in the direction the wind's coming from, and the wind's coming from where we want to go. So we'll just keep going along this way. But we'll get another bit of triangulation. What's the easiest number to remember? The Watcher is 27 point... Well, the middle is 2735. And then we'll take the... We'll go for the south portion again. Try and get this as close as possible. Here we go. Oh, too much movement. Right, close enough. So 9337, I've already forgotten the Watcher. 2769. Let's go. Silence so I can remember. 2769. Let's get the one that's easy to forget first. Watcher. 2764. And then we have the azimuth for the southern part of waypoint, which is 95.37. So roughly there. So we're sort of halfway, still quite a bit of sailing to go. So this is a much longer distance than I've covered in this game before. I think I would have been too scared to do it in the Caravel. Although we're halfway and we can still see some land features, I'm wondering if you can see the Watcher from Fishhook, or if that just completely disappears, because we've completely lost... well, there's Nameless Isle. We've completely lost Bathus and the Bells. Oh, and it looks like... Okay, so I can see the land from the character view. I can see Fishhook Mine from the character view. There it is, just above my cursor. But again, we can't see it through the spyglass. I think you can maybe see the silhouette a wee touch, just through the har. But it's so faint that maybe YouTube processing won't even load it. Load it, show it. I am not sure. Let's get a good view. But on that note, folks, I'm going to head off, get another cup of tea to sort my throat. This video will be out, I believe, Tuesday evening. And then the next following seas video won't be me getting to Fishhook Mine. I'll leave you on the edge of your seats for that one. The next following seas video will be me playing around in the Dow, doing a little test sail. I think I'm going to sail round waypoint, and then that way I can test her with all points of sail. So that'll be the next one for following seas. So as always, as I say, Happy New Year, but as always, thank you very kindly for joining me. I have been Shipwrecked Sean, and cheerio.